Move on to resolution 2022-09-12, introduced by Commissioner Barker.
To the Honorable Mark DeWitt, Chairman and member of the Hawkins County Board of Commission in regular session at this day, September 22nd, 2022. Resolution in reference budget amendment, general capital project fund. The following budget amendments are being requested as listed below.
Got a motion by Commissioner Barker, seconded by Commissioner Kern. Any questions? Commissioner Thacker.
Is this, is this that school they put in this man?
No, there's no school. No.
I know, they were talking about putting one in, you know,
Yeah, but
and we
that,
allowed $2 million for that project.
No,
This
Commissioner
is-
Thacker, this sets $30,000 aside for development of the industrial park at the Holston Army Ammunition
Oh,
Plant
okay.
that we've heard from a couple meetings ago.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Commissioner Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just playing devil's advocate on this resolution, what happens if we don't do this?
This $30,000 is just earmarked and not spent. As the project progresses, we have agreed to pay part of the share of the city of Kingsport, $30,000 each, but we only will disperse this money as they request it. So there's nothing being spent at this time.
And it doesn't exceed 30,000.
No.
may even be less.
It's probably gonna be less according to facts and figures, but this money, it's not writing a check to anybody. It stays in our account until it starts and they request it. Commissioner Roach.
So, with this project, we're allocating this money with the understanding and hope that the Department of the Army is going to allow this industrial park to be built on property that has been closed to development up to this time. Is that correct?
That's correct, but if they don't agree to that $30,000 is basically a moot point at that time.
At this point, do we have any assurances that they are actually going to allow us to do that,
No.
other than what's been told?
No.
Next question is, I guess I was under the impression that some sort of survey or outlay project had already been done, that Kingsport had already paid for, and that we were reimbursing a portion of that.
No.
Nothing has been spent.
Kingsport actually did the survey and paid for it themselves and did not ask for any reimbursement for it at all. We have been in talk with Lieutenant Colonel Joel Kalo, who is the new commander who took office in, I think, 1st of September. And they are saying the project is going to move forward. But we will not expend any money until the contract is signed. The money will stay in our account, and the Host Business Development Center will actually be the one that will be invoicing, and they will invoice to each one of the entities, Kingsport and Hawkins County, and we will pay those invoices, then they will be halved between the two of us. So,
Could there be any other recurring revenue that might show up as a result of this project that we would have to pay for?
Recurring expense.
Or, yeah, revenue would be nice, but yes, could there be any recurring?
There will be some revenue. It reminds you, it's a $30,000 potential investment in a $5 million project.
and Kingsport only has 14 acres that are in the city of Kingsport. 146 of those acres are in Hawkins
And
County.
they've
So we
already
have the
split it in
potential,
half.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Gill.
Yeah, so to be clear, this money has already been passed to spend the 30,000. All we're doing is giving the authority to move it to the correct line item.
No,
No.
no.
It's not disclosed.
It's been discussed and, we went forward with it, but this officially puts the $30,000 in kind of an escrow account to be paid as needed.
And so the project itself is you said it's a $5 million project, $5 million investment. So, and who is going to do that? A private development company, is that correct?
No,
No,
that's
the Department of Army.
It's the Army.
Arms
So
project.
we're trying to convince the Army to do
No.
No, we've already negotiated with
that.
them.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to.
Okay.
That's fine.
I apologize.
We have
That's fine.
already negotiated with them.
Okay,
The only hiccup we had was that there was a change of command. The change of command was at the local level. The general that is in charge is still where he is at, and he wants to move forward with this. We actually got I got an email this afternoon that the letter support from the Army we were hoping to get it before this meeting, but we will have it by the end of the week, that they are supporting this project. And, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's $30,000.
Yeah.
Just for information purposes, it's the piece of property that runs alongside Highway 11W on the east side of the Army ammunition plant gate. And as Commissioner Barker suggested, a small portion of that is inside the city limits of Kingsport. The greatest portion of it is in Hawkins County. When it's developed, it will be light industrial warehousing, things like that, and tax money will be revenue from that. But we have to agree to put that $30,000 aside if we want that to move
and
forward.
I'm fine with that. It still just strikes me odd that somebody would be willing to spend $5 million to develop this property and not spend 30, they need 30,000 from us. That
Well, they
makes no,
can-
as a business person, that makes no sense, but
Well, they're-
it's fine. We can
Once
pass it.
the project, for the Harms project, once it's done, they will lease that land out to the businesses that are coming in there. And they can't sell the property, but they can lease it out, so therefore, they got dead property right now that will actually be an income for them. And they're looking at ways to produce income, so.
Not
this
just
is-
here, there are other places as well.
Absolutely, I'm finished, thank you.
So what if the Army starts developing the project, and we give them money, and they say, well, we're not gonna do it anymore? Do we get any of the money back?
There's a contract, and if they breach the contract, I'm sure we would get our money back, as if you breached any contract.
Okay. And until if they never develop it at all, then we don't lose any
We
money?
don't
Well,
spend.
we won't give them, until the contract is signed, the money is just sitting in an escrow account. So we're not gonna be out anything. The money, the $60,000 is to clear the site, engrave the site, and put a rail spur in, is what that money is for. And we won't do any of that if we don't have a contract with them.
Any other questions? Commissioner Kern?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you think back, this is the first time that, in my recollection, that the Army has ever agreed to give up any property. You know, at one time, there was talk that they were going to go up through Mount Carmel and maybe set back 1,000 feet for development, which we all know that Hawkins County, Mount Carmel, everybody needs. So if that got mixed or whatever, so in my opinion, this is the first time they've made any move to say, we're willing to give up some property. We don't need it, and let's face it, they don't need it. My concern is that I think it's a way to develop Hawkins County at a very minimal cost. And as Nancy quoted, they're going to lease this to individuals as they develop it. But in my own mind, I'd hate to sit here and say, no, we're not part of that. Hoping down the road that we might have them take a look at Mount Carmel, that area through there, and say, hey, we can develop some business up there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any further questions? Hearing none, let's cast your vote, please.
13 yes, 1 absent.
All right, that resolution